You've made a great mistake being here, man. You're gonna be here for a while just watching garbage. Well, good luck.
You know, with this huge game collection, I should be probably making videos more often, especially about specific games, so I'm just gonna pick a random game here and see what I get. Sure, why not? Excitebike was a game that was released in the early days of the NES. I know, crazy, right? Excitebike is a racing game, if you can even call it that. You're really just racing on your own, and then based on your time, you get placed on how well you did. And yeah, it's a pretty fun game. I immediately tried the final level of the game, and when I got 14th, I got a little mad. Now, other than the 5 courses you can already play, there's also a course builder feature. Now, it's pretty complicated to get used to, but it gets the job done. But the only problem is you can't save the courses. It gives you an option to save, but it's only until you end up resetting the game. Yeah, I made this torturous thing. And like I said before, if you reset the game, your level doesn't save.
You know, I was kind of hoping I had more to say about Excitebike. It's a really good game, and it's one of my personal favorites on the NES. But the fact that there's only 5 courses, and you can't save the courses that you designed, honestly, it makes it kind of mediocre. So, you know, like, since I want this video to be longer, I'm going to pick out another game to talk about. You know, maybe I should have taken the hat off first.
Something feels off here. I don't know what. Like, something's missing. My Kirby amiibo!
Guys, we gotta coach our truth. That's right, my Kirby amiibo is missing. Now, this is really bad, but we gotta stay calm so we can find this. Okay, now I think I'm calm enough to try to get it. Oh God, they stole my games too? The only game that he left was... Well, it could have been worse.
Dora saves the Snow Princess. What am I doing with my life?
Oh, there's a note on the back. Well, I can't read a thing it says, but, you know, I might as well just play this to keep me occupied.
Interactive activities. Tapping, blowing, speaking, and dragging.
Well, no
Well, I guess I'll have to start playing now. Is it too late to back away? First thing we gotta do is tap these locks to free the bird. Extremely simple. Then we have to click on the right bush and say something in the microphone. I got a better idea. And then we have to find out which way we have to go next. First going into a microphone later, and then we have to twirl these little wheel things and to put the flags up. And then you have to use the D-pad to make sure the ship doesn't fall into the ice. Then we have to type on the biggest ice block to make Dora jump across. This door sprite gives me nightmares. Then we have to click on where to go next, again. Then we have to circle the right thing that we need to use to continue on. And for some reason, this just would not work for me. Then after drawing a super quick line here, we have to do the exact same minigame as the stupid ship minigame, except this time we're going horizontally. And you just freeze in place when you hit an obstacle. Clicking where we need to go again, we then have to put the shapes into the right outlines. Then we have to click the levers in order from lowest to highest. Click on this thing again, and now we're in the final area of the game. We do the circling minigame again, and it doesn't work for me again. And here's the same obstacle dodging minigame for the 3rd time. And then there's a microphone blowing minigame. After that, we have to circle these little wheel things with spit all over my screen. And then we have to change Dora's clothes. After that, you have to smile into this crystal.
I don't think that's possible playing this game.
And here's one final minigame. It's the exact same dodging minigame as before, for the 4th time. And then the credits roll.
I beat this game in about 20 minutes, but this was the longest 20 minutes of my life. It was so boring, and it was honestly made for just a cheap game to keep kids occupied for a bit. So, overall, this game blows. No, I have a better way to dispose of this. Do you think that would really work?
Hey, I found this random game.
Oh, that's fine. Ow! Ow, why did you do that? Wait a minute. There's something in here. I can't read it.
Oh, don't worry, I flew it and turned crash.
Good news, guys. I've gotten some of my games back, but honestly, I don't know what to talk about for this video. These games I've already talked about. I can't play Brain Age 2 without the first one. These are the only 2 games in my collection I haven't played yet, and I think it'd be really funny to keep it as the 2 games I've never played. I just have no idea what to say about these ones, which only leaves the games on my... I'm not that desperate.
Mobile gaming. Definitely a controversial topic. Now, there are a few good mobile games, like the Dadish games. I might make a video on these one day, but there's one big problem keeping mobile gaming away from being something great, and that is ads. You've probably seen this one for Blockbuster like a million times like me, and I've gotten so tired of this ad that I finally decided to try it out myself. Now this game you have to put blocks on a grid to make them match, and eventually, once you clear a row, it breaks, like that. And it seems like a very bad copy of Tetris, and it very much is, but it's strangely addicting. And that's why a bunch of people are getting sponsorships from them, because like it's such a simple game so that everybody can enjoy it. Including me, I kinda got addicted to this game for about a few days. Now it's not necessarily a good game, but it's definitely better than most mobile games I've played. I just really need to get a quick video out today.
After hours of wasting my life away in a mobile game, my friend actually found a bunch more games that he, quote, didn't want anymore. So stupid. Now I just realized most of these are DS games, a couple Wii and Wii U games, and then there's... Hey guys, I've gotten a ton of my games back recently. I think I have nearly half. I'm so happy for this, because now I have some amazing games that I can talk about. But that's not funny, so instead we're gonna play some Ninja Breadman.
One day I was super bored, so I decided to beat Ninja Breadman in one sitting. The first level is a very simple tutorial stage. It has 3 main areas, one that teaches you how to jump with these little platform things, one that teaches you how to attack, but for some reason the attacks wouldn't work for me. And then there's a little place that shows you how to do the horrible aiming controls for this stupid projectiles that nobody uses. The second level is a lollipop forest, which is almost like a maze. In this level you collect 8 of these weird container things to open up a portal. Level 3 is probably the best level in the game, and that's not saying much. It takes place in a candy volcano and you collect weird container things to open up a portal. Deja vu-ish. Now, again, this is probably the most tolerable level, except this stupid area where you run up a hill for 20 seconds. This part's boring. And then the final level, which is definitely the hardest one. Now, in this level, you collect weird container. Oh, come on! Is there nothing original in this game? And then the credits roll. Yes, that's the whole game.
Now, if I were to be nice, I would say that this game is bad. But I'm gonna be honest with this and say that this is one of the worst games I've ever played, and it needs to be executed immediately. The Nintendo Switch, one of the best consoles ever made. Now, I'd say on a few games for it. Yeah, just a few. I just found all my Switch games in a back alley, so I thought I'd make a quick review about all of them. Review for all my games in 10 words or less, starting off with Animal Crossing New Horizons going alphabetically. I got addicted for a bit, but then I randomly stopped. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Extremely underrated, amazing gameplay. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Best Kirby game of all time. LEGO games. Peak gaming, fun but easy, and boring. Mario Bros. Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Fun game, but gets a bit repetitive. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Great game, best tracks, awesome all around. Mario Party Superstars. Only good because it's old stuff. Minecraft. What do I say about Minecraft? It's Minecraft. No! New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. A bad port and of a mid-game.
This right here is the worst game ever made.
Hey, this is my video.
Piccolo and All-Star Brawl. First game sucks, second game's great. Paper Mario the Origami King. Extremely underrated. Great characters, great story. Peak. Princess Peach Showtime. Why did I spend $80 on this? Sonic Mania. Yep, it sure is a Sonic game. A good one. SpongeBob Alpha Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Best licensed game ever. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Why did you make this a limited release? And it's lazy. Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Great game with a great side mode. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Best 2D Mario ever made. Super Mario Maker 2. I would say best Mario game ever made, if it wasn't crappy fan-made levels. Super Mario Odyssey. Best 3D Mario game ever made. This has Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD, but it's actually Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Great game. Super addicting. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Greatest crossover of all time. Amazing gameplay. And finally, Yoshi's Crafted World. Not as good as Woolly World. You don't count as a game. And that's about it for this video. Wait a minute. Oh, I was gonna make a video about Shovel Knight. I just scripted everything. Hey guys, it's Halloween, which means kids dress up in costumes to get candy, and people scare the piss out of themselves just for the thrill of it. I even decorated a bit to get into the spirit. Now, since I've never really been a horror game guy, I think we should go through some gaming creepypastas.
Gaming creepypastas, one of the best ways to spread misinformation on the internet. The best way to start off this topic is with Herobrine. This man with white eyes was a cultural phenomenon. People even made their own structures, claiming that it could spawn Herobrine. Now, we can all admit that we all tried this at one point, and it never ended up working. Notch himself has even said that he's not real. Next one we're going to talk about is Lavender Town Syndrome. Many Japanese kids in the 90s supposedly had bad headaches, erratic behavior, and even unaliving themselves. But none of these were actually downright confirmed. It seems kind of far-fetched that a song would do something like that to a person. Next up on the list we have We Deleted You. A kid just opened up his Wii to see our strange me in the editor called Edeled. Now, he thought nothing of it and just simply deleted it. But, after creating his own me, Edeled was back. This is a really long story, so I'm gonna go quick. Edeled starts getting mad at the kid about deleting him, so then the kid gets really scared and never turns the Wii on again. Years later, he sells it, and he gives it to this little girl who doesn't know about Edeled, but they start talking too about stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a third kid in here somewhere, but eventually the Wii gets destroyed. The final one for this video is Ben Drowned. Apparently, This kid, Ben, was drowned against his own will due to this moon children ritual.
You know what? No, this is stupid. These are all so obviously fake. You know, I don't even like Halloween. I'm not a Christmas guy anyway. But I don't need these stupid decorations. So stupid. We all have our favorite games and our least favorite games. So I thought, since I'm working on a big project that my executives have told me not to spoil you about, I'm just gonna make a quick video about my favorite and least favorite games from every console I have. Now, I don't really play my Game Boy Advance that much, but, well, actually I don't have a Game Boy Advance, I just play Game Boy Advance games with my DS Lite. So if I had to pick a favorite and least favorite, my favorite would be Zelda Minish Cap, and my least favorite would be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. For my favorite and least favorite DS game, obviously my favorite would have to be Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. This game is amazing. But for my least favorite, Door Saves the Snow Princess, I made a whole video about how bad this game is. Don't buy it. For my favorite 3DS game, I feel like it would either be a tie between Utopia or Super Mario 3D Land. Both of these games are super fun and engaging. But for my least favorite, why? Why did I buy this? Now, I don't have a lot of NES games, but I could still pick a favorite. Now, my favorite, this is so obvious. Everybody's favorite NES game is Super Mario Bros. 3. What else could it be? And my least favorite, Dragon Warrior. It's fine, but it could definitely be better. For my favorite Wii game, it has to be Super Mario Galaxy 2. The Galaxy games are some of the best games of all time. But for my least favorite, I don't even have to say it. Now, Wii U games is where it gets really hard. Picking my favorite Wii U game is like picking my favorite child. But I'd have to go with Lego City Undercover. I just have so many memories with this game. The only complaint I give is that the soundtrack is kind of mid. So my least favorite is definitely Star Fox Guard. It plays nothing like Star Fox and it's just so boring. Now, Super Mario Odyssey is easily my favorite Switch game and my favorite Mario game. It's just so fun to always replay all the time. It's just so fun. And my least favorite? You know what? Modern video game developers are just cranking out bad games to get a quick cash grab. And I'm done with it. I don't need these stupid things. Oh, guys, you caught me in a crucial moment. You see, I just turned 14, which means now I have to pay taxes. So I'm selling all my games to have enough money. Alright, I just sold all my games and consoles to GameStop for $460. Honestly, more than I expected from GameStop. Alright, this could get me through the first few months as long as I'm careful. Wait, you don't start paying taxes till you're an adult!
Video game hauls, when you buy a bunch of games at once just to feel something. Since I need some games to function, I'm gonna go to this nice place in my hometown to see what I can get for that money. Now, since I'm too nervous to record in there, I'm just gonna use photos. I bought a PS2 with a crappy third-party controller and a copy of Gran Turismo 3 for $70. Pretty decent deal, I gotta say. I bought a memory card for it, 16 megabytes, for around 15-ish bucks. I just really needed it to save my data. I hated the third-party controller that came with it, so I bought an official one. And honestly, now I can see why people love the PlayStation controllers. It's really comfortable. It also looks like the PlayStation controllers would make a good boomerang, but I've already tried that. It doesn't work. I also got Crash Bandicoot Warped for $22, Spyro Year of the Dragon for $30, Tomb Raider 3 for $20, GTA San Andreas for $20, Jak and Daxter for $20, Kingdom Hearts for $18, Mega Man Anniversary Collection for $18, Metal Gear Solid 2 for $15, Pac-Man World 2 for $15, Ratchet & Clank for $18, Sly Cooper for $25, Sonic Heroes for $25, Sonic Mega Collection Plus for $15, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom for $20, Tetris Worlds for $10, and Simpsons Road Rage for $25.
Say hello to my new game collection.
I got these 3 games because the PS2 can play PS1 games, and these are the 3 most iconic suits from the PS1. Also, I got the 3rd one from each of them because I thought it'd be funny. GTA San Andreas is widely considered to be one of the best games of all time, so I just had to try it. Also, it's my first M-rated video game. Jak and Daxter and Ratchet & Clank are 2 great action-adventure games on the PS2, and also they're just really iconic. Kingdom Hearts 2 was just for the RPG for this, because like you can get so many hours out of these kind of games. Mega Man Anniversary Collection and Sonic Mega Collection Plus are just 2 great compilations that you need to have for budget-ish gaming. And also 13 games and a bunch of extras for $15 was such a good price I couldn't not get it. My dad just really liked Metal Gear Solid when he was younger, so I just bought it for him to be nice. 3D platformers are my bread and butter, so I had to get a few. Also, I liked the Battle for Bikini Bottom remake, so I thought I'd try out the original. Sly Cooper, another iconic PS2 game. Also, I heard the 2nd game is amazing, so I gotta try that out at some point. Tetris Worlds. I like Tetris, okay? The Simpsons Road Rage. This is just kind of a whatever pick. They didn't have Crazy Taxi, so I thought, why not have the next best thing?
I need to get my games back. I know, I'll rob a bank!
Dang it, this always happens!
Well, that didn't go as planned. Well, I'm sure I'll have all my games back by the next video to the status quo. Hey guys. Could you tell that I have no life?
Game collections. Sometimes they can be really small, and sometimes they can be absolutely massive. I think it would be fun to go back to an old video of mine and remake it to see how much has changed since then.
Today we'll be going over some of the best and worst about video game collecting, starting with...
What's awesome about game collecting is that you finally have an excuse to buy all the games you've ever wanted to play. There's also actually a reason to buying these. You can get so much hours out of so many games. There's also no real end to it. It can just keep going and going and going and going and going. There's also buying a game because it's funny. I could buy Mario & Luigi Partners in Time or Pearl too, but I'll play NES Play Action Football and Tetris Worlds, thank you very much. I also think it's really cool seeing all of these games on one shelf.
But then there's...
You're probably thinking, what's bad about collecting video games?
Well, at least I have Sly Cooper.
Video games cost money, and a lot of money at that. So a lot of times you're not left with much money and you gotta try to budget with what you have. And sometimes that just doesn't work out.
There's also sometimes accidentally buying a game twice.
You might buy an enhanced port of a game you really like, but sometimes you just buy the exact same game twice. Like for example, I have 2 copies of New Super Mario Bros. DS. I lost one, so I bought a second one, and I just recently found the second one. I also just got Battle for Bikini Bottom for my PS2, and I forgot I had the remake. But if you want a lot of games, you need a lot of space. A lot of people have a full room to store their games, but since I'm a minor, I just store all my games in my room. There's also just not playing some of your games. I have a solid 20 games that I've played less than 20 minutes of, or just not at all.
Now since I've gone over the big pros and cons of game collecting, I'd like to show you my favorite parts of my collection.
Starting off with the original Mario trilogy, I know this isn't that cool, but it's cool to me, especially considering Mario 2 was a bit harder to find, so that's kind of cool. Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap, not only do I like owning it because it's the rarest game in my collection, but also considering this is one of the Game Boy Advance's biggest games, and it released in 2005, after the DS, Adventures of Dino Ricky. Adventures of Dino Ricky. I own every Wii Fit game. I don't know why, I haven't even played Wii Fit Blood. But like, yep, here I am. Somebody who owns every single Wii Fit game who doesn't even like Wii Fit. And finally, almost every Phineas and Ferb game. I'm still missing the PlayStation Vita exclusive, but I don't have a PlayStation Vita. What do you expect? This one is broken. Like, it's literally broken. I physically cannot play it. But yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to get all of them eventually.
So in case you're wondering, yes, I am lazy, and yes, I am running out of ideas. And for that I am lazy and just me making jokes, I'm gonna use Minecraft Dungeons again. Alright, I just got a little annoyed, so I feel like I could calm my brain down with a little brain teaser. But the only problem is, I'm so addicted to video games that anything other than that will make me gag. I mean, I would, but it's the sequel.
Games that are good for your health. They're fun, right? First up, the Wii Fit series.
Aw man, but I hate working out.
Do you use your Mii?
Oh!
So you use your Mii in a bunch of different fun workout activities, and basically there's a bunch of mini games that you can play, and they're pretty fun. There's also a workout segment, but nobody plays those. Next up, the Brain Age games.
I'm not really a big fan of these kind of games. Yes, Sudoku?
There's a bunch of games you can play to, quote, sharpen your brain.
Don't rush me. I can do this, I can do this.
Now, the second game is basically the same thing. Next up, we got the Big Brain series of games, the DS and the Wii game.
Big fun for big brains?
Well, that puts me out of the running.
Now, the DS game is mostly focused on single player. It has a bunch of these fun little mini games and stuff. It's really nice to just calm down and play. The Wii game is more head-to-head multiplayer kind of stuff where a bunch of people go against each other and see who's the smartest. And then there's personal trainer cooking.
No, not you again.
Listen, I've already made a whole video about this game. I'm not going through this again. Just watch that video if you want to hear about it. There's also mobile games that are like these kind of word search thingies that are supposed to, quote, sharpen your brain if you play for 30 minutes a day. There's like a million of these, so yeah.
Alright, I finally calmed down a bit and now we can just play NES golf and forget all of our troubles.
May 26, 2020. One of the worst games ever conceived was created. It was made to be a fun spin-off to one of the best games of all time, yet it was completely ruined by the people who developed that game. And that game is Minecraft Dungeons. You've seen me talk about this game countless times about how bad it is and how I hate it. So many times you've seen me abuse my copy of it.
No!
And today, I'm going to beat the entire thing.
Now, I can't do this alone, so I got my good friend Terry the Turtle here to help me. How do you feel about this, Terry?
Why would you do this to me? Life is eternal suffering.
Alright, he's just being funny.
Alright, the opening cutscene gives us a nice little intro to the main villain. Alright, we got 10 main levels to go through, and this first level is Squid Coast. Since this is a tutorial level basically, it is ungodly easy. Most of the time you're just walking in a straight line and occasionally tapping A. Alright, that first level was pretty bad. I hope this isn't a sign for the rest of the game. Okay, level 2 is the Soggy Swamp. Oh my god, it's the exact same thing. This is another boring level where you walk straight and occasionally tap the A button. Wow, so exhilarating. Alright, that's this level done. Hopefully the next one isn't half an hour long. Oh my god, why did I say that? This level is so long, it's nearly 30 minutes. How do they expect new players to just walk through this whole level? Like, wouldn't they get tired at one point? Oh my god, that took way too long. Hopefully the rest of the levels aren't that long. Alright, level 4 is Pumpkin Pastures. And wow, look at that! It's another level where you walk in a straight line and occasionally tap the A button. Not getting so tired of this. There's really nothing special in this level. Like, ooh, it's fall now. So pretty and cool, and I don't care. The next level here is, hold on one second. Cacti Canyon. Alright, all these levels are starting to feel the same aside from the design. Alright, we're finally halfway through the game. And yeah, this game is horrible so far.
How do you feel about this Big Beach production?
This game sucks.
Thank you.
Level 6 is the Redstone Mines. This is the most uninteresting level yet. Honestly, it's literally more walking around and occasionally tapping the A button. Okay, level 7 is the Desert Temple. And holy crap, I know I was complaining about how easy the levels were, but this is just way too much of a difficulty spike. At the end of the level, there's a boss called the Nameless One, where you could never get an attack in on him. Like, he's constantly shooting fireballs, and he always spawns these stupid skeleton guards. So many times you have to walk to the other side of the arena just to deal with the skeleton guards, so then you can get 2 hits on him, and then you have to stand in the corner and heal yourself because it takes forever for the health potion to refuel, and then he spawns in his stupid skeletons again, and it just gets so tiring. Oh, thank god this level's over. It can't get much worse than this, right?
Oh my god, why am I doing this? How do you feel about this PlayStation guy?
This game sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up is the Fiery Fort, which is honestly the best level in the game, which is not saying much. But the amount of enemies is not too much, and it still provides a decent challenge. Another level done. Now we're getting close to the end. I really hope this next level doesn't make me rethink my life choices. Oh god, I should really shut up. This is High Block Halls, the worst level in any video game I have ever played. This took me nearly 10 attempts. So much of this level's design is just throwing a million enemies at you at once. It is so annoying, and don't even get me started on the last room. It just keeps spawning enemies for like 10 minutes. Thankfully, during this horrible level, I had my friend come over for emotional support.
Like, I barely have any subscribers, so why am I doing this? I'm torturing myself with one of my least favorite games just for like 10 people to play it. It's so stupid. Like, I don't know why I even still do this thing anymore.
I'm thirsty.
Okay, now we're on the final level, the Obsidian Pinnacle. Honestly, most of this level isn't that special, it's kind of more the same. Oh, and this final boss, it is really good. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. It seems like it's going to be extremely easy from the first phase, and yeah, the first phase is really easy, but that's meant to trick you. But when the second phase hits, it is actually really good. It's got some really good attacks, and it's not too easy to hit, but it is actually still possible to deal a good amount of damage on it. And then this game finally comes to a close.
Okay, I came out here for a very important reason.
Now, you're probably wondering why I did this. Ah, there it is. Alright, so I got this weird note on my bed this morning that if I beat Minecraft Dungeons, I would get my Kirby amiibo back. And look at me now. Personally, I don't think it was worth it. I really could have just bought a new one for like 20 bucks. But yeah, now I can give my true opinions on this game. It is absolutely horrible. Do not buy it. I am serious. Please don't. Alright, now I can cleanse that horrible taste out of my mouth with some Meatopia. Oh, hey guys, I'm just playing some DuckTales on the NES. Wait a minute. Christmas is a weird time for a gamer, especially when they're into games like Blades of Steel. Yes, this game is just as bad as you think it is.
So I have an NES with a bunch of games for it.
Oh yeah, I forgot I had that.
So as you'd expect, I'm into old crap. So I can super easily go on to eBay and search up whatever I want and get it pretty quickly. Sometimes these games aren't in the best condition.
Why is it sticky?
Now it makes sense, these old games are susceptible to wear and tear, that's okay. I can tell the previous owner of this played Boogie to death. Also with places like eBay, you can super easily get scammed.
So, this isn't Namco Museum, this is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 for Game Boy Advance.
Now for Christmas, relatives can also get you games that you already have.
Oh god, now I have 3!
Or sometimes they don't even think you'll like the game, they'll just buy because it's cheap.
Oh my god, I haven't even watched Ben 10.
Sometimes your relatives do care that you like old games, but sometimes they just don't care enough. This is the VX Gaming handheld console. These things suck. There are a million of these things on Amazon and in stores like Walmart. Please don't buy them. Even though they're like 20 bucks, they're still scams. Now, there are sometimes good games on these like Contra and Bomberman, but sometimes the emulation isn't that good. Sometimes the sound quality isn't that good or it just looks weird. Oh, look at that! Toy Story! Now, there was a Toy Story game, but that was on the SNES. A lot of these things emulate NES games. Wait a minute, this looks familiar. Wait a minute, this is just Bomberman again! Now, what the heck is Sonic World Time? Wait a minute. This is a reskin of the original Super Mario Bros. But with Sonic element. Oh, come on, this is just lazy. Like, sure, they have a good game in here, but really? Alright, a McDonald's game. There was a McDonald's game on the NES, so maybe this is the game. Wait a minute, no, this is just Burger Time!
Christmas is a wonderful time of the year, but sometimes relatives just don't go through the effort to get good gifts. Like, they see all these amazing new games and cool merchandise, and then they go, ooh, Pac-Man candy! Now, I understand that this can sometimes be a pain, but I don't have to worry about that. I've never gotten a single bad gift in my life. Damn it! Hey everybody, and say hello to Nintendo Guide 2. That's right, a sequel to your favorite YouTuber. You might be saying, this is the exact same channel, but with a 2 on my head now. But no, I'm on a different part of my bed now. And to prove that this is a sequel, I'm gonna talk about video game sequels.
We might as well start with one of the first ever sequels, Super Mario Bros. 2. Oh, did you know that Super Mario Bros. 2 in North America is actually a reskin of Doki Doki Panic? Yeah, I'm sure all of you have heard that. Everyone knows that at this point. So yeah, this is a fun game though. Then we have new Super Mario Bros. 2.
Have I been counting wrong this whole time?
Yeah, for some reason they called this game New Super Mario Bros. 2, which yeah, it's the second New Super Mario Bros. Game on a handheld, but it's technically New Super Mario Bros. 3 because New Super... And then we have Super Mario Galaxy 2.
No way, they made Mario 2?
I mean, Mario Galaxy had to get a sequel. It's one of the greatest games of all time. And sure, this game isn't as good as the original, even though I personally prefer it. It's still an amazing game, and its soundtrack still holds up today like the original game. Then there's Mario Maker 2. God, how many Mario sequels do I have? I mean, Mario Maker 2 is basically more of the same. It adds a Mario 3D World game style, which is pretty cool, and adds a bunch of new items. But really, it is just Mario Maker for the Switch. There's really not much changed about it, except there's even more annoying levels now, as more people bought a Switch than a Wii U. I know, that doesn't seem very believable, but trust me, it's true. Then there's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on Game Boy Advance.
I'll never forgive that eBay seller.
While this game's graphics are pretty good for its hardware, I can say the gameplay is not very great. I mean, it makes sense, it's running on a Game Boy Advance, so if they're doing something like this, then it's probably gonna play horribly. And then there's LEGO Indiana Jones 2 and LEGO Batman 2. While I love LEGO games, I can say that all of them basically feel the exact same. Like, sure, they have fun gameplay and you know what you're gonna get with them, but they do get kind of repetitive when you have like 25 of them like I do. And then there's Kingdom Hearts 2. Honestly, I've never played this one. Honestly, I am mostly clueless about the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise. The only two things I really know is that Sora is in Smash Bros. And that Mickey Mouse is in this game at one point. And then we have Just Dance 2, or how not the original Just Dance, or Just Dance 4, or Just Dance 2014, or Just Dance 2015, or Just Dance 2017, and so on. Honestly, all of these games feel the exact same. They're just like glorified song packs at this point. I mean, I get now that they're doing digital releases only, but still, this is stupid. Let's play a little game. Guess which one's Just Dance 2 and guess which one's Just Dance 1. Trick question, they're both Just Dance 3. And saving the best for last, we have Pac-Man World 2. I absolutely adore this game and Pac-Man World 3. I can't say my opinion on the first Pac-Man World because, well, I don't have it. But yeah, this game is one of the best 3D platformers of its era. This was kind of that era where people were taking a bunch of old arcade classics and kind of like remaking them for a modern audience. And I feel like this one is the only one that really stuck the landing. These are some of the best 3D platformers I've played as of recent.
You know what? No, this is dumb. I went back to my normal spot. You know, people sometimes make a great game and then be like, oh, people like that? Let's make a second one. And then pop out a mediocre sequel to just sell a bit more copies. Now, thankfully, with some people, they know when to stop. Oh, thank God. Hey everyone, as a certified unemployed person, I try to do my best to save my money, but sometimes I can waste my money on the most mediocre 5 hours of my life.
Might as well start off with Princess Peach Showtime, since we're already talking about it. Now, Princess Peach Showtime is definitely a game aimed for younger kids, even though it's rated E10+ for some reason, but that doesn't mean that it should be fully priced. I mean, like, come on, $80 for a game that lasts like 5 hours? Sure, it's a nice distraction for a kid, but an $80 distraction for a kid? And then there's like a bunch of different remasters for the Nintendo Switch coming from the Wii U.
Oh crap, am I seeing double again?
Now, if these were just Switch games, then these would be perfectly fine for $80. But the problem is they're from the Wii U, and most of them have almost no changes. As someone who owned the Wii U beforehand, this is really annoying because then I would have to re-buy these games instead of just being able to get new ones. Like, sure, a lot of these I didn't have, but still, it's pretty annoying. And then there's Minecraft Dungeons. How do you sneak your way into everything?
I thought I was done talking about you.
Sure, this game is decently priced digitally. I mean, it's only $30. But physically, you have to spend a full $80. And not only is this game absolutely atrocious, but it's only like a few hours too. And then there's the modern Donkey Kong Country games. Now, if these were brand new games, these would totally be worth their full price tag. These are both amazing 2D platformers. Well, both of these games were originally $65 and got major price drops later on. Donkey Kong Country Returns being on the 3DS for only $50, and then Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze being resold for Nintendo Selects for $30. And now these are both fully priced $80 games. Next up, there's Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, and mine came with a free gun.
Don't ask me why I bought this, just let me talk.
Now this is an amazing indie game, honestly one of my favorite games that I've played in the past year. But the only problem is, I bought the physical version of this game, which is $35, and yeah, I think just how long it takes to beat is what makes it not worth it. Now, if you can get it on sale, then that is perfect. And then there's the fact that every modern sports game now is $90.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Now, Mario 3D All-Stars was a limited edition game, and due to the laws of supply and demand, this game goes for around $150 new. But if I did this, and this, and this, it'd still sell for a bunch of money.
Now these kind of expensive game prices probably aren't that bad to most people, but I don't have a job, so I can't really afford most of the expensive games. And usually when I get money, I usually just spend it right away. So to that one person I still owe $5, I can't give that to you, I need it for Chicken Shoot. Hey everybody, now I feel like you're not a true gamer until you played the original Pac-Man. Now, I've played the original Pac-Man countless times on many different types of hardware. I own all 3 Pac-Man World games, well, I own the first one digitally, and I have this crappy LCD arcade machine. Now, through all the different times Namco is re-releasing original Pac-Man, makes me think, does Namco hate Pac-Man?
Now, Namco obviously doesn't hate Pac-Man, it's half the reason that they're still relevant, with the other half being Super Smash Bros. The original Pac-Man has been released under every single console under the sun, it's everywhere, I'm telling you. In 2050 we're going to be playing this on our Neuralink brain chips. Now, there's obviously the hundreds of versions of Namco Museum. You know, this PS2 version really shaked up the Pac-Man gameplay. And then, there's this crappy LCD screen arcade that I have. Now, the sounds and quality are really bad, and the joystick is way too small to be comfortable, and I have really small hands. And as somebody who does own this, I can warn you that if you play this too long, you will get brain damage. The last time Namco did something unique with Pac-Man was with Pac-Man The Ghostly Adventures, and we all know how that went. I will give Namco props for re-releasing Pac-Man World, and completely from the ground up, too. It's a really faithful adaptation of the original game while still modernizing it, but there are so many other Pac-Man games that could get the re-release treatment. Pac-Man World 2, Pac-Man World 3, the best one, Pac-Man World Rally, Pac-Man Party, Pac-Man Fever, the game, not the song.
Even though Namco probably doesn't hate Pac-Man, they probably just need to respect his history more and release more of his more obscure games. Never mind, they f***ing despise him. Hey everybody, the Nintendo Switch is about 4 broken Joy-Cons away from its demise. Now, if you remember, a bit over half a year ago, I made a video talking about all my Nintendo Switch games that I owned up until that point. Now, since then, I've gotten 9 more Switch games, and I'm gonna make a little short review for all of them as a little sequel to that. Since, you know, these will probably be the last Switch games you'll ever get, aside from Rhythm Heaven Groove, and Tomodachi Like Living the Dream, when that comes out in 2026. So, let's get right into it, starting with Big Brain Academy Brain vs. Brain. I did really like the DS and Wii games, so I decided to pick this up because it was on sale for like $20. And yeah, just a bunch of fun little brain teasers, you can challenge people online. Overall, I'd say that this is a pretty decent game for what I got. The Blob. Now, my friend really liked the second one, so he bought me the first one on Switch as a birthday gift. Personally, this wasn't really my thing, so friend, if you're watching this, please don't kill me. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Now this is a pretty simple beat 'em up game, but you can get hundreds of hours out of this game. I haven't played much of it, but from what I've played, it's really fun. Lego Horizon Adventures. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth, as I'm going to make a whole video regarding this game after I beat it. But so far, it really does shake out the normal Lego formula. The best way I can describe this game is Minecraft Dungeons, but good. So, yeah, stay tuned for that video coming up. Mario & Luigi Fellowship. Easily my favorite Mario & Luigi game. The gameplay is amazing, the characters are great, except the final boss made me want to drink bleach. The remake of Paper Mario 2000 Year Door, I don't even need to say this game's incredible. We all know this game is incredible. Characters are amazing, environment's great, gameplay best it's ever been for Paper Mario. I love this game, everyone loves this game. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Now I haven't played this one yet, but I used to have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, so I can give my opinions on that instead. Honestly, it's a somewhat faithful adaptation of the first few games, but that's not really much of a compliment since those games are kind of boring. So, yeah, overall, the game's fine. If you like Pokemon, you'll like this, but I'm not really interested. Super Mario Party Jamboree. This is personally my favorite Mario Party game. It has so many alternate modes, so many minigames, so many boards. Overall, it's just the perfect Mario Party for everyone. Lastly, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. Now, I know it sounds bad, but trust me, this is one of the best indie games I've played in a long time. The only problem is, I paid $35 for this physical edition, and I got 2 hours out of it. $20 an hour isn't really good, but yeah, still an amazing game if you can find it on sale. I do believe that is all of them. Now, again, granted, I will get those new games in 2026 for the Switch, unless those get Switch 2 edition, so, yeah. I mean, if I'm going through every single game I own for a console, you might as well do all my Wii games too, starting off with... You know what, never mind. Hey everybody, the Nintendo Switch 2 is a mere 2 weeks away. But I am starting to run out of ideas. I gotta get something out beforehand. This is gonna last for a while before the Switch 2. So, today, I'm gonna be talking about these crappy third-party Joy-Con wheels.
Now, playing a game with a singular Joy-Con is usually really uncomfortable, especially if it's some sort of fast-paced game. But, you know, what if you could make it even worse? The Wii Wheel was promoted in ads to make it sound like that it feels like you're actually driving. And with these Joy-Con wheels, they're obviously trying to replicate the feeling of actually driving.
Yeah, sure, this feels like I'm really driving, but it's kind of missing something. I know, could use some alcohol.
I have a ton of nitpicks with these. First of all, the way the Joy-Con is sized just makes it doesn't mesh well with your hand. There's a little dip here where the Joy-Con actually is, and that just makes it look super unprofessional. There's this hole at the top that doesn't actually let you press the L button, so like, why? And then these back parts here that let you press the SL and SR buttons just don't feel very good, and sometimes they don't even register your input.
Now, these things are really poorly made, but I would give them around a 3 or a 4 out of 10 because some families could probably enjoy this. But instead I'm going to make it a 0 out of 10. It doesn't work on an actual car. Hey everybody, and who needs that old Nintendo Switch 1? The Nintendo Switch 2 is out, and it's been out for around a week. So I think this is a good time to take my opinions on the console and share them with you guys.
After 8 years, 3 months, and 2 days of anticipation, the Nintendo Switch 2 is finally out. Thank God, I was tired of drawing X's on my calendar every single day. Now, after having it for about a week, I think this is a good time to share my opinions on this console. First up, the new Joy-Cons. Now, these are way better than the original. The SL and SR buttons are way bigger, the joysticks have a way wider range of movement, and they have a really nice sparkly finish. You can't see it in the video, but yeah, trust me, they're there. It also has an improved grip, where if you look at it, it doesn't look like it'd be very comfortable, but trust me, it is. The Joy-Cons now attach via magnets and have the satisfying release button on the back. And with the new and improved straps, you can use the Joy-Con as a mouse for certain games and navigating the home menu. And then we have the actual console itself. Now, like the original Switch, it got a power button, volume control, a nice fan, a USB-C on the top now, a headphone jack, a game card slot, and now a new microphone for in-game voice chat. And then there's the sides of the console itself, which are used to connect the magnetic Joy-Cons. And then we got the kickstand, which is just as nice as the Switch OLED, but it doesn't take up nearly as much space on the console. And then there's the 1080p screen with HDR built in, and it looks amazing. And I gotta mention, the magnets are really strong. I don't see these falling off the console anytime soon. And I gotta mention the fact that the Switch 2 eShop is finally good. It actually runs well.
And with recent releases, it shows the popular ones first, so we actually have to scroll down for the AI slop.
But then we have the most important part of a console. Are the games any good?
I mean, so far, I've only picked up 3 things. Mario Kart World, Deltarune, and the Street Fighter 6 demo. When it comes to Mario Kart World, well, it's Mario Kart. It's amazing. And they actually did a lot to switch up the formula this time. You drive to each course now as 2 of the laps, which I do enjoy, but I'm happy it is possible to play them normally via Versus. Now with Knockout Tour, man, this is where it gets good. It's a huge 10-minute long race where every single checkpoint, 4 players are eliminated. It's so fun and chaotic, especially online. And then there's Free Roam. I've heard a lot of people complaining about it recently, but I love it. It's a great way to just relax after a long day, or just to mess around and have fun. And then there's some of these little P-Switch missions that you can find all around the world. These are really fun little distractions to do. And then, when you beat them, you get a little sticker you can customize your cart with.
Huh? Money! What the?
With Deltarune, man, it's Deltarune. How could you not love it? In all seriousness, chapters 3 and 4 were amazing. The characters are amazing as always, the gameplay is still great, and it's just like the first 2 chapters, but just improved in every single way. Also, chapter 5 coming out next year, man, I was expecting like 2030! With the Street Fighter 6 demo, I just heard there was a character creator, and I just thought I had to make the worst abomination possible. Now, I originally wasn't going to buy the Switch 2 Welcome Tour, because it's a $15 tech demo, but after seeing a bunch of gameplay of people playing the mini-games, it actually looks kind of fun. Now, we already know that the Switch 2 pre-orders were a mess, but I got mine pretty easily. I just walked into my local GameStop at like 4 PM and they still had some Switch 2s for pre-ordering. And my console was not defective!
But now we have the most important question of any console. I know I said that the games were good, and that's the most important part. But we've gotten to the actual most important part is, can it play Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl?
The Switch 2 is completely backwards compatible with the original Nintendo Switch. Well, not entirely. There's a list of some Nintendo Switch games that have problems with backwards compatibility or need an update to fix those problems, including Dadish 1 and 2, just another reason for me to not talk about these games.
Now the Switch 2 is everything I wanted and more. I just wanted an upgraded Switch with more power, but this delivers it and more. The games are incredible. The fact that it can play almost every Switch 1 game is amazing. I truly think this is one of the greatest consoles of all time.
I really gotta find a better way to dispose of these.
Oh, hey everybody, I've been playing some Mario Kart World. Damn, not again. I've been using this console so much that my old hat ran away and I had to get a new one. But all this time playing it, maybe you forgot that I've had this NES for a year now. So I think I can tell you guys if it's worth it to pick up in the modern day.
Even though the NES is an old sack of shit, it still has some of the greatest games of all time on it. Mario 1 and Mario 3, The Original Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Kirby's Adventure, Blades of Steel, okay baby, not Blades of Steel. Now, most of this console's great games are already on Nintendo's modern consoles via the Switch Online service. Now, since these are already on modern consoles in such an easy way, why would you want to have the original versions of them? I just think there's something special with playing it on the original hardware and with the original controller. It just feels natural, so that's why I've always liked playing it on the original hardware, because I'm just quirky like that. It's great for collectors who want to have the original experience and also like wasting money.
But what if you're not a collector and you just really want to play Marble Madness?
What if you really want to play a specific game for the console that's never been re-released? Well, I think that if you really want to play the game and you know you're going to get your money out of it, I do think it's okay to buy the old console and the old game if you really want to. Now, a main argument I've heard about these games is that they're just too hard.
I feel like this is more of a personal thing than a thing that actually keeps you from playing old games, as you really just need to get good. Another argument I've heard about this is that after a while these games just stop working. They may wear out or just completely break. Now this all depends on how the original owner took care of it. They could have kept it in its box and kept it safe, or they could have just thrown it in a box and didn't care.
I think if you're a big collector, or if you just like having fun little knickknacks, then I do think this is a great console to collect for. But you can play most of the good games on Switch Online now, so if you just want to play these games, I don't actually recommend getting it. I mean, like, I can just play all these games from Nintendo Switch Online. Why would I possibly need all of those? In fact, I wouldn't be upset if they just all disappeared right now. Well, there's $300 down the drain. Hey everybody, you're probably noticing that I don't have my hat on right now. That's because I decided to stop being a Scott the Woz clone with a hat and just become a Scott the Woz clone. Look at that, I even have a desk full with my favorite stuff. That hat was a pain to use. I couldn't see anything, so I'd constantly be running into a wall, and no one could ever take me seriously while I was wearing it. But that's not what this video is about. It's about me talking about my game collection. For the third time. The way I should start this video without doing the exact same thing as my first two, I think I should start going through my video game collecting journey.
Now, I wasn't really a big gamer until I got my Xbox Series S in December of 2022. I mean, yeah, my first console was a Wii U, obviously I wasn't a big gamer. Now, this was still before I would kill someone for a copy of Fling Smash. But after seeing a bunch of videos about people talking about their game collections, I became inspired. So on May 24th, 2024, I moved all of my games to one shelf and I started collecting.
Now you're probably wondering how I had so many games when I just started collecting. That's because I never ended up actually selling any of my games when I was a kid. Probably because I didn't know you could.
Now there's a lot of small things that are way different from when I used to collect. Like, my top row isn't completely filled out, but that's because it couldn't fit DVD-sized cases because it was just too short for some reason. Then there's also the fact that half of my Wii games were Lego games.
Oh yeah, only the necessities.
My Wii collection was actually way smaller than before. Like, I only had like half the amount of games that I do now.
Look at this idiot. He didn't have Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll.
My Wii U collection is very similar to how it is now. I've gotten a few games since, but not too many. My Switch collection was a lot smaller than I thought. I didn't know I've gotten so many since then. Now I do have a later photo from my first ever game collection video, but actually finding this photo? Ugh, my old videos are so boring and unfunny.
My videos are a lot better now. They're just unfunny.
Now, in my first photo, my copy of New Super Mario Bros. Wii was in a blank case, but in this updated photo, you can see I horribly printed it out, and I was okay with it for almost a year.
What the was wrong with me?
Now, the only big change about this photo is the fact that I got my NES with some games. Mario 1, Mario 3, Dr. Mario, and Dragon Warrior. What a great start. Now, the only other two new games I got were Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story and Miitopia. Now let's move on to September of 2024, where we see a lot more substantial changes. The top row is finally filled out, so I can finally give my OCD-filled brain a break. I also added 2 NES games to my collection, Mario 2 and Excite Bike. Now my Wii game collection got a big upgrade, especially considering I now have a bunch of Wii series games. Wii Fit,
Finally a second use for this.
Wii Fit Plus,
Finally a third use for this.
Wii Play, and Wii Sports. Now the only Wii U game I got since the last photo is Star Fox Garden with cream-colored spine. Why? We now move on to November, where I got a PS2 and a bunch of games for it. Now, most of these were for the Gaming Halls video a while back. We also got 2 more NES games now. Adventures of Dino Ricky and Yoshi's Cookie. Truly some of the best games of all time. My Wii collection also got a bunch of grid editions. Big Brain Academy, Chicken Shoot, and Madden 08. My one Wii U game this time was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This was when I really started getting into game collecting and spent most, if not all, of my money on it.
What is this bullshit?
Then we have my game collection today, with over 200 games from a bunch of different systems. The collection starts off with my DS and 3DS games. Now I have a lot of weird games for these, like Yogi Bear and Wink's Magical Fairy Party, and also all of my Dora games. And I couldn't possibly forget Scooby-Doo in the Spooky Swamp, but of course I have some amazing games here too, such as Mario and Luigi Bros. Inside Story and Mario 64 DS. And then there's Brain Age 2, I guess. And then there are my 3DS games, which just get cut off down here too. But I have some amazing first-party titles here, like Mario Kart 7, Mario and Luigi Dream Team, Miitopia, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and all these other games are great too, like Angry Birds Star Wars. And then we have my NES games here. Definitely a huge improvement from back in November. We do have most of the major games here, except Ice Climber and Zelda 2. And we also got a bunch of crappy sports games as well. Now, most of the library of this is basically just pure garbage, but I would like to get a few later on. Now we have my 3 PS1 games here. I've never really been too interested in the original PlayStation, so that's why I've kept the same 3 games and haven't really gotten any since then. But, you know, if I ever feel like it, I'm sure there's a bunch of great games for the original PlayStation I'd like to check out. The PS2, on the other hand, I love picking up games for this. There's so many amazing games that you should pick up if you get one. Like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, this game's amazing. And then we got Mega Man Anniversary Collection, a great compilation of the old Mega Man games. We got the 2 Pac-Man World games, these are some of the best platformers on the PS2. And then we got the SpongeBob games, which are both also great. And I also have Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2002, I'm not the man I want to be. And then we got the Wii and Wii U games. These make up the bulk of my game collection. It's just super fun picking up these games, especially since they're so cheap. And look at that, I finally have Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll.
Finally, you're for.
And then we have my Switch games. This is probably the most consistently good out of the bunch. We got some amazing games like Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, Mario Bros. Wonder, and Mario Odyssey. These games are amazing. And then we also got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, an amazing Kirby game. Now I am starting to run out of space here. I can only fit around 15 more games until I have to find some way to compromise this. Now I could use an old bookcase that I don't really use very much to store these, or I could just throw these games in a box and be lazy. And then we have all my consoles set up here next to my TV. Behind is an absolute mess of cables, but I do have some consoles plugged into a surge protector so it's not a huge fire hazard. And then I store a bunch of my extra cables and controllers in a box, all labeled in plastic bags so I don't forget which one's which. And then I have a closet where I store my plushies, game boxes, my Wii Balance Board, and my Minecraft Movie McDonald's meal.
Like, sure, this is just how I've been collecting, but, you know, everybody collects in their own different ways.
Like, for example, we have the casuals, the kind of people to play Animal Crossing, Minecraft, and Mario Kart till the end of time. The type of people who look at a Wii U gamepad and go,
What the f*** is this?
and then there are the real gamers, as they call themselves, who think Nintendo is the reincarnation of Satan and only play sports games and Call of Duty. And then there's the people who have no life and have walls stacked with games. Sure, I have a wall stacked with games, but not nearly to the degree of these other people. And then there are people who never open their games and just buy them for their monetary value.
Why?
Like, what's the point of buying a game and then just throwing it on a shelf and forgetting about it? Fair point. But there's a difference between buying a game to show it off and buying a game to play it but not getting to it.
Now, after all that, I think it's about time we get into my favorite parts of my collection. I'm not doing repeats from the second episode, so here we go. My copy of Mario and Luigi Brothership. I do think this is an amazing game, but the reason it's here is mostly because I pre-ordered it, so it came in this little cardboard sleeve, but I just use it as a display because it's actually put the game in here. Sure, it looks really cool, but it's way thicker than all my Switch games, and since I have horrible OCD, I would never be able to look at this game the same way again if I put it on the shelf like this. A dual one here, wipe out the game and refit. Now you're probably wondering, what do these two games have to do with each other at all? It's actually because I got these copies from a friend who had 2 copies of this game. So, thank you for that. The Nintendo Labo VR kit. Now, this is just a dumb little time waster, but the reason it's here is because I sold my original Switch after I got my Switch 2. So now this is completely useless. Kirby's Adventure on the NES. Now, this is my favorite NES game, but I spent $50 on this. Not very proud of that, especially considering I already beat it on Nintendo Switch Online. I just really wanted to have the physical cartridge. Despicable Me the game. Now you're probably wondering why I like Despicable Me the game so much. And that's because it was actually my 200th physical video game, which is pretty interesting to me. And then there's all of my LEGO games. Now, if we're including the DS versions of console games I have, and my second copy of LEGO City Undercover, then I have 31 LEGO games. Well, 27 physically, 4 digitally. So I have almost every TT Games made LEGO game. I have no life. Someone please help me. Now let's hone in on a specific few here. We got LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, LEGO Star Wars 3, and LEGO Indiana Jones 2. But I'm also going to pair this with New Super Mario Bros. Wii and Green Lantern Rise of Manhunters, as these both have the same problem. Now, as you know, New Super Mario Bros. Wii had a red spine, and that's fine, it's a Mario game. And then, a lot of LucasArts games had yellow spines, but at least they're consistent with being inconsistent. Or were they? Because with LEGO Indiana Jones 2, they decided to do a brown spine. And then with LEGO Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars, they decided to do a blue spine. And, you know, this isn't part of the LucasArts thing, but with Green Lantern Rise of the Manhunters, it has a green spine. Like, make up your damn mind! And finally, Darksiders 2 on the Xbox 360. Now, there's not really anything special about this copy of Darksiders 2, except the fact that I don't have an Xbox 360, so I physically can't play this. Now, a lot of people consider all this to be a huge waste of money, and they'd be right. Man, I knew I should have become an accountant. Hey everybody, I'm currently hiding in my closet because my town's doing its annual hide and seek competition to see who's good enough for the league. So, I'm kinda stuck in here for the foreseeable future. It's a good thing that I leave my TV and Xbox in here for safekeeping. Yeah, I always come prepared.
This is a video game.
I mean, this is nice, but I hate states of matter.
Physical video games are disgusting, right? They take up so much space, look ugly, and are super fragile. And of course you have to take the disc out every time you want to play
Which is why so many people resort to digital gaming, where you just buy a game off of a store and download it straight to your console.
This has become super popular as of recent, since console bundles usually just come with digital codes, and the fact that the Xbox Series S can't play discs is a feature on the side of the box. Collecting digital games is definitely a lot more convenient than going physical. For physical, you have to go to a store, pick out the game that you want, and find some way to store it. With digital games, you can go right onto a storefront and just buy it right there. And with games that aren't out yet, you can usually pre-order them way sooner. Now, there's one main problem with digital games. The price.
So I could buy Pokemon Let's Go Eevee for around $45 on eBay, but that's a huge waste of space, so I could just buy it digitally for the full $80.
Madden 25 is $90. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's the most recent game in the series. Of course it's expensive. Well, I have EA Play, so it's only $80. Oh, but it gets even worse than that.
So I only play digital games. But what if I want to play Guilty Party?
If you only have a modern console and only play digitally, it's pretty hard to play old games, which, as you know, I'm pretty experienced in. Now, most consoles are backwards compatible with the console beforehand, but if you want to go quite a few generations back, You gotta hope the game you want gets a full remake on new consoles or just gets ported. That's the alarm. I can leave now.
You know, it was kind of fun going in my closet. It was a nice little change of scenery. And I also found some old stuff, too. Nice old friend with Terry the Turtle here. Some unpaid taxes. Some old Joy-Con steering wheel. And some old games that I hid in my closet because I didn't want people to see that I bought these. Because why did I buy these? Well, I do prefer physical gaming. Digital gaming does have a lot of pros. Like, it's so much more convenient, and it's super easy to just turn on your console and play a game without needing to get a disc or anything. But it just seems more cost effective to me to go physical, as you can find games for so cheap, and you know, you actually own those games. Totally not biased or anything. What are you talking about? Hey everybody, I hate licensed games. They're just some cheap cash grab to prey on fans of the original series. And to prove how much I hate them, that's all I'm going to talk about for the next 7 minutes. I have these 20 games here. We're going to be talking about all of them and ranking them from worst to best. We got to get right into this because I just want to get this over with.
First up, we got all of my Dora games, not including Dora Saves the Snow Princess, because we already talked about that one.
I think this is what the kids call a money spread.
First up, we got Dora's Big Birthday Adventure. This is the exact same game as Dora Saves the Snow Princess. The only difference is that the sprite art is a bit better. Next up, we have Dora's Cooking Club. Now this game's a bit more interesting because it has a main gimmick of cooking, and it has around 32 minigames, which sounds like a lot, but a couple of the minigames are repeated, like the cheese grating one. That one's used twice, while the cutting up vegetables minigame is used 3 times. But hey, it's still a lot better than Big Birthday Adventure, so it's going above. Up next is Dora Puppy. This is just a really boring copy of Nintendogs. I grinded this game for like an hour to see the ending. This one's going right in the middle. And the final one in this collection of shows Dora Saves the Mermaids. This is the exact damn same as Birthday Adventure and Snow Princess, except with even worse sprite art and some of the most boring mini games I've ever played. These games are so unoriginal, they even have the exact same interactive activities, tapping, blowing, speaking, and dragging thing on the back. This one's going in the bottom without a second thought. Next up, we have Family Feud.
Alright, let's get this started. Name one thing you'd hate to see your dentist holding. Is lunch? What would be a reason someone would say they would want to move to Las Vegas? Gambling, obviously!
This is easily the best one so far. Now we have Monster High 13 Wishes. This game isn't even that bad, it's just kind of boring. It's pretty impressive how many 3D elements they got for a DS game, and there's a lot of playable characters. You can tell that they cared enough to try to make a good game, but overall this game isn't really that special. This game's going in second place right under Family Feud. Next up we have the 2 Phineas and Ferb games, Phineas and Ferb and Phineas and Ferb Ride Again. I've always had a sort of soft spot for these games. Now they're not great by any means, but I always thought these are kind of fun time wasters. There are some touchscreen minigames, and these do feel kind of tacked on. The first game has a lot more of these, while the second game does focus on more basic control schemes. The first game's going below Family Feud, and the second one's going on top just because it has less touchscreen minigames. Next up, we have Tangled. I could not get this game to work. It just got stuck on the first minigame and it wouldn't let me progress, so I have nothing to say about this game. It's still going above Dora Saves the Mermaids, because even if I was stuck with only one game, I'd rather have nothing than have that. Then we have Team Umizoomi.
We'll call you Umi Friend.
I have a name, you know.
This game is in the same style as the Dora games I was talking about earlier, except it's slightly more enjoyable. Doesn't mean it's actually enjoyable, but it's slightly tolerable. I have the world record speedrun for this game. It's going right below Monster High. Next up is The Price is Right.
Oh, I see what they're doing. They're trying to psych me out by doing lower prices. Well, joke's on them, I'm gonna do the maximum amount.
Okay, that didn't work out last time, so I'm just gonna do 7.
This one's going right above Team Umizoomi. And for the final DS game, we have Yogi Bear. This is the most basic 2D platformer I've ever played. You play a minigame at the end of each stage. I got the gist of it after the first level. This one's going right below Monster High. We now have another Phineas and Ferb game with Quest for Cool Stuff. Now all in all, this is a pretty basic 2D platformer. I do think it is pretty fun for what it's worth, but one really interesting thing about this is that every single version is the damn same. But yeah, this game is still pretty good. It's going at the top. Wow, 3 of the top 5 are Phineas and Ferb games. Next up on the list is The Simpsons Road Rage. This game is literally just Crazy Taxi, but hey, Crazy Taxi is really good, so it's going at the top. Starting off the Wii games, we have Despicable Me the Game. Honestly, this game isn't actually too bad. Honestly, my least favorite part about it is yeah, this game is really hard and I don't know why. This one's going right below Quest for Cool Stuff. Next up is G-Force. This game has a super weird premise that I think could have some potential, but this game just ends up being really boring. It's going right below Family Feud. Then we have Green Lantern Rise and the Manhunters. This is an incredibly basic 2D beat-em-up game. Imagine a Lego game, but 2D and super boring. While I haven't played the Xbox 360 version of the game, it looks completely different. But I'm reviewing the Wii version and it's going right above Monster High. And for the final Phineas and Ferb game, we have Across the Second Dimension. Now this is some good shit. It's a basic 3D platformer, all things considered, but it has some great combat elements and really fun puzzles. And hell, it even comes with a code to unlock a secret character in the DS version. So you have the DS version of Across the Second Dimension and you really want to play as Agent T, here you go. This one's going right at the top. Next up we have Wheel of Fortune. It's Wheel of Fortune, alright. I once rolled bankrupt 3 times in a row. It's going below Family Feud. And the final game we have here, Ben 10 Omniverse.
Ben 10? It's more like Ben 3 out of 10.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
This came out right after Skylanders really hit it big, and it was actually one of the first games to copy the formula. And yeah, this game's really boring. This one's going above Green Lantern. And there we go. Every single licensed game I talked about here has been ranked from worst to best.
In your face, TV companies, I just played your games and proved how bad they are. Wait, I spent money to play these games just to hate on them. God, what am I doing with my life? Hey everybody, I want a family-friendly game that anyone can pick up and play. Yeah, but I want to create a character in-game. Yeah, but I want a little thing that you can waggle around while playing. It's perfect! Wii Sports revolutionized gaming with snappy motion controls and the uses of knees, one of the most iconic Avatar creators ever made. Nowadays, motion controls are considered a sin, but let's see how much I can break my wrist by playing through all of Wii Sports.
Booting the game up, we have 5 sports to choose from: tennis, bowling, baseball, golf, and boxing. Now if this was released today, it would be a pretty small selection, but remember, this was a pack-in from 2006. They couldn't include every sport. Now let's start with tennis, where to play alone, you clone yourself on the court.
Alright, me, let's do this. Oh, get that! What the hell was that? You do know I'm not real, right? What?
To play this sport, you swing the Wii remote like a tennis racket. This is the most simple sport out of all of them, but it's still very enjoyable. The simple fun of trying to time your swing rate keeps you on your toes. While it's not the only thing you'll ever need to play, it's super fun to try out every once in a while. Going down the list, we have baseball. This is the best sport in the game, no contest. When you go up to bat, you simply swing the Wii remote like a baseball bat. After swinging, your mini runs around the diamond automatically. And then while you're pitching, you swing the Wii remote like you're throwing a baseball. I'm starting to sense a pattern. This sport is super fun with a friend, and it's great to let out some anger by trying to throw the ball at the batting knee's face. The next sport on the list is bowling. I don't know how, but nearly 20 years later, this is still one of the best versions of bowling in any video game. Controlling the sport by swinging the remote like a bowling ball works super well. You can adjust where you aim with the D-pad, which is very useful for people like me who are stupid and can't throw straight. This sport is super relaxing, and getting a strike feels amazing every time. Next up is golf. There's 9 holes to play, all based on the holes from the NES game Golf, which is a really cool callback. So now these holes are actually playable. Well, as long as you can actually play golf. I am absolutely ass at this version and the actual sport. I do think it's kind of boring playing this, but it can be fun in the right context. The final sport on this list is boxing. This sport is the one that gives you the biggest workout. After 10 minutes of playing this, I start sweating. This doesn't mean the sport is any less fun. It's a huge adrenaline rush when you get a knockout. I haven't beaten Matt yet, but I have heard the horror stories. And that's all the sports done. We also have training mode, but that's basically just a glorified practice mode. We don't have to go over that.
While Wii Sports is just a pack-in for the Wii, it's still an incredible sports game and still holds up nearly 20 years later. And even better, it just comes in a little sleeve so I can throw it like a frisbee and it won't crack. Hey everybody, I want to sell some of the games that I own since my shelf is full and I'm just storing my overflow of games in this little shelf next to me. I wish there's some way to get rid of these.
Dude, you want to get rid of a bunch of your
Yeah, how'd you know that? Do you have cameras installed or something?
No? Well, too bad. I'm here to talk to you about eBay. I just love it so much, even though I don't work there. You can get rid of a bunch of your games that you don't play because you didn't have the foresight to realize in 5 years in the future you're never gonna play them because you're just an idiot. Sorry, that was rude. You should go use eBay because it's perfect for all of that. Just sell those games. Sell them on eBay.
Wow, thanks random person in a commercial that somehow knows my exact specific problem that I'm having right now. I'm going to go do that. Man, that was so easy. What can't the internet do?
eBay, certainly the website of all time. Anyone could put up something for sale and anyone could buy said thing. I recently got an Xbox 360 and I really wanted some games for it, so after a bit of digging, I found this. This lot came with Assassin's Creed, Brutal Legend, Call of Duty World at War, Crackdown, Gears of War 2, Grand Theft Auto 4, Halo 3 ODST, LA Noire, Madden 09, Mercenaries 2, Rock Band, and Turok, all for $40. Now let's play all of these games a bit and see if I wasted my money. First up is Assassin's Creed.
Well, this one doesn't work.
Yeah, this disc is broken and doesn't read. But I can make it more broken. You know, that isn't even the worst part about this thing. The inside of the case has a damn blood stain. Well, that was a bad first impression. Maybe Brutal Legend will fare us a bit better. This is the only game out of the lot that I had no idea existed until I got this, so let's see how it is.
No way. Is this the company's badassness I've heard so much about?
This game is so cool and it is all in your face about it. You play as a character voiced by Jack Black that got sucked into a world of what I can call bad shit insaneness. This game's combat is amazing and the visuals are pretty great for the Xbox 360. Spoilers for the rest of the list, but this is easily the best game I played out of the lot. Next up is COD World at War.
Nah.
Yeah, I haven't played this one yet. Never really been into Call of Duty, so let's just move on to Crackdown.
Come on, open the door! Open the damn door!
Yeah, I could only get 2 minutes into this game until I was told to go into a building, but the door was locked and it wouldn't let me open it. It might have something to do with the huge crack that's in the disc. I haven't played 3 out of the 4 games so far, and that's about to become 4 out of 5. Gears of War 2 is fine! I only played for 10 minutes until I got bored. It's the most boring and basic shooter I've ever played. We finally have another game I've played a decent amount of with Grand Theft Auto 4. The few quests I've done are really enjoyable and it's pretty fun roaming around the open world. The only problem is everybody's a dick. There's been so many times where people just randomly start picking fights with me and it's so annoying. Next up is Halo 3 ODST. I'm not really a very big Halo guy, but from what I've played of this game, it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this game, and that's just gibberish. Hold on. Did I fall asleep while writing the script or something? Anyway, let's just ignore that and just go to Ellen Noir.
This game is super fun to blast through in about 20 to 30 minute bursts. I feel like it would get really boring after an hour, but it's a really good time waster. Also has the really funny X to doubt thing, so it's automatically a masterpiece. Next up is Madden 09.
I would have the same reaction as Call of Duty, but my doctor told me I should only use 1 nano a week.
This game feels like filler in the lot. It feels like it was just put in to be like, oh look at that, there's 12 games in the slot. Anything with 12 and it's a great deal. Yeah, I haven't played this one, but like, can you really blame me? Next is Mercenaries 2.
You know, when I got this lot, a greater force told me to not play this one. And by that I mean I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yep, haven't played this one either. Mostly because it just doesn't look very fun to me. My favorite game that I refuse to talk about makes you play as a pixelated radish. Do you really think this would be my sort of thing? And then there's Rock Band, which we'll skip because it didn't come with any instruments.
Oh boy, you've always wanted to play Rock Band! Damn it!
And then the final game is Torok. You crash land on a random deserted planet full of dinosaurs and you have to fend for yourself. Boring!
And that's all the game. Well, I do think that these games together are worth $40, considering looking at the average going price for all these together, and that's nearly $80. I do think there are some problems with getting games off of eBay. Assassin's Creed didn't work, but since these games are marked as tested, I can let that slide. But you know, games could always get broken during shipment, or they could have the iconic eBay schmutz. So, while I do think buying off of eBay is good for price, I don't think it's very good for quality. Wait, I was supposed to sell all my Wii games to have enough space. Those didn't end up selling. Now I have even more games. What am I supposed to do now? Hey everybody, have you wanted to participate in a dangerous trend? Well, let me introduce to you Skate or Die, the 80s most popular way to want to gouge your eyes out. Skate or Die was one of the most popular third-party games back in the NES era, and after playing through the entire game, I don't get why people are so excited about this game nowadays and getting nostalgic over it. I choose Die.
Booting this game up for the first time, we get, oh my god!
I don't know if this guy needs plastic surgery, therapy, or both.
Okay, we have 5 mini games to go through here, so let's just start off with the first mini game on the list, which is Joust. In this mini game, you just move back and forth and try to push the other person off of their skateboard, which is really boring and really dangerous. Someone could get an eye poked out. Next up is Race. This is so boring. It's one track, the game controls horribly, and is genuinely just an insufferable experience. This is what the average person playing Race and Skate or Die looks like.
What am I doing with my life? I'm nearing 15, my childhood is fleeting, and I decided to become a Nintendo YouTuber. Worth it.
Next is Jam. This one really pisses me off for a reason that is completely my fault. I was playing through the game and I thought, oh, this is actually controlling very well. And then I realized I was looking at the completely wrong person. I was doing horribly and I couldn't catch back up no matter how hard I tried. It was so stupid and I hate it. Next is High Jump. This one you just spam left and right as fast as you can, and the faster you mash, the higher you go up. This is basically just a test of endurance. It's so boring, but it can actually get kind of addicting sometimes.
Come on. Yeah.
Then there's Freestyle, which is basically the same thing as High Jump, except you can't mash too fast or else you fall off your board.
And that's Skate or Die. I genuinely think this is the worst NES game I've ever played, and that's saying something, because I have games like Adventures of Dino Rookie and Major League Baseball. So that is an incredible feat. And you know what? Just in spite of this game, I'm gonna learn how to skate in real life. You know what? Never mind. I don't want to spend $100 on a piece of wood. I've already wasted enough money buying 3 copies of LEGO City Undercover. Hey everybody.
Oh, that sound must mean it's Halloween. Either that or someone's using a really weird soundboard. I think we should get into the spirit and talk about some scary stories. So I'm going to talk about used games.
Everyone loves video games, right? But not everyone likes old video games, which is why game companies don't produce and sell those old games. That and the store restockers would get confused.
Okay, we got Donkey Kong here. Wait, Excitebike came out like 40 years ago. What the f is a Fling Smash?
So if you're as strange of a human as I am, you want these old games. So, what do? Well, you buy used games. Man, I love buying used games.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys that this year my Halloween costume is a liar.
Why are these things everywhere? Not only does every place that sells new games also sells used games, but there's also sometimes used games at the most random places. I once saw used games at a Value Village. I bought Big Brain Academy Wii degree there. From what I see there's 5 different types of used games. First, there's the replicas. These are pretty much the same as new games. No big scratches on the case or disc, all the paper inserts are included, it's perfect. Then there's what I like to call the C students. They work fine in a collection, but they could be a bit off. The manual might be missing or there's some leftover sticker. Maybe there's a weird stain or a small cut in the box, but overall, these are perfectly respectable to own. Then there are the disappointments. These things are falling apart at the seams, the case is begging for mercy, and the disc would probably turn to dust if you touch it wrong. These games look like they've been used as a plate. And then there's... Let's skip this one. And in last, but surprisingly not least, we have the imposters. These games have printed out box art. A lot of the time they're actually pretty well done. But sometimes when people print out box art, they really don't try. Occasionally, you run into a game with a random generic case, but it has the original artwork. How does that happen? Why would someone trade in a game like this?
Hey, I'm here to trade in this SpongeBob game. Alright, and, what the hell is wrong with you?
Alright, let's get back to this. Sometimes people lose or throw away the cases. Throwing them away was a lot more common back when games came in cardboard boxes, but some people don't care about stupid bullshit, so they just throw the discs in a binder, or, even worse, just leave them lying around. So when they sell the games, they either go in the generic GameStop cases, which I don't have any of, or in one of these basic CD cases. I will never buy one of these. Wait.
Now that we've gone over all the types of used games, we have to ask, how do you find them?
Well, you can find used games at GameStop. Most of the time, they only have games down to the Xbox 360. There's this new GameStop Retro, but those are super hard to come by right now. So if you want old games, try to find a local shop. There's this place near me called Iceman Video Games. This place is amazing. They have a great selection of games, good prices, and super nice employees. You're welcome for the free advertising. And then there's eBay. This is good if you want to save a few bucks, but you have no idea what the true quality of the product is until it arrives. Sometimes the case got cracked from shipping, or if you're really unlucky, it might be a completely different game. I'll never forget the Tony Hawk incident. Then we have the worst problem with used games. Stickers. Most of the time these are easy peel-offs, but there are some that are pretty much etched onto the case. I have so many games with little sticker pieces on them and it really pisses me off. And then with sports games, those usually have these silver stickers which you shouldn't even try to peel off since they leave so much residue.
The problems with used games will forever be a part of the gaming space, especially considering all the big companies will eventually stop making physical games, and the only way to get physical games is used. So while all these problems are super annoying, they're a necessary evil for collecting. And all these reasons show that you really don't need to go all out on your Halloween decorations. You can just make it scary by having a used copy of Skylanders Trap Team. Nobody will ever come near your house. Hey everybody, I just turned 15. Well, I didn't turn 15. I'm just a character being played by somebody who did turn 15. Don't worry, I already had a mental breakdown about that last night. Now last year, I used my birthday money to buy a PlayStation 2. So I've had this thing for about a year now. And since this is the only thing I could play for about 9 days, I think I have enough experience with this console to tell you guys if it's worth it to pick up in the modern day.
The PS2 is the highest selling console of all time, and there's a good reason for that. Not anything about the games though, it's the fact that the PS2 could play DVD movies, which was revolutionary back in the day since the DVD players were ass expensive. So why spend $600 on a DVD player when you can spend half that amount on a DVD player and a game console? But let's just go over the game console aspect of this. I have over 20 games for this system, so I have a general idea of what the system library is like. While I love picking up new PS2 games, I've pretty much stopped getting new games for the console over the past few months. The same thing happened to me around a year after I got my NES. The hype for me kind of worn out and I stopped caring about it for a bit. But recently, I've gotten a bit more excited about the NES and getting new games for it, so hopefully that'll happen with the PS2 soon. One of my main problems with picking up an NES in the modern day was that most good games on the system could be played on Nintendo Switch Online. But it's missing the best game, Marble Madness. This isn't a problem for the PS2, mostly because Nintendo would never re-release PlayStation games, but in general, PS2 games almost never get re-released. A lot of the big games they put into collections on the PS3 back in the day were PS2 games, but that isn't really part of the conversation, since that's pretty much a retro console in itself. If any game in the library appeals to you, getting the console in the original game is probably your best bet for playing the game. There's also the fact that this console is somewhat cheap. It's gone up in price recently though. It can go for around $120 on eBay, but last year I was able to get the console and a game for only $70. A lot of the best games on the console can go for pretty low prices if you look hard enough. If you have money to spare, you could get a decent collection fairly quickly. There's also the want for the console as a collector. Since this is the most sold console of all time, a collection would feel incomplete without a PS2 for some. In fact, I originally bought this console just because of how iconic it is. I was near the beginning of my collecting craze, so it felt like if I didn't have many consoles, I'd be seen as a poor collector. Looking back, I was a bit too paranoid how I collected, but I kind of hit it out of the park with this decision.
Overall, I think this is a great console to collect for as a big collector, considering there's a lot of games on here that are really great and never got re-released. And also, it's pretty cheap to afford today. Wait, what? Hey, what's going on here? No, not again! Well, all my games are gone again. And the magical force that did this to me took all my consoles this time, too. Wait, there's still one more game on the shelf. I know what has to be done. Hey everybody, you're probably wondering why my games are still in the background while they all disappeared. Well, that's just some really good editing. Sometimes it's a little too real. Now if I stop playing games for even 3 days, I go feral. So I bought a Super Retro Trio Plus to fuel my addiction. Now, a bunch of reviews I've seen online are either 5 stars or 1 star. So let's see who's right and if I wasted my money.
Retro video games are cool, huh? Most of the time they suck ass, but saying you have Echo the Dolphin in the case is a great icebreaker. Now sometimes it's kind of a pain in the ass to find the original consoles. They're not usually in stores, and when they're on eBay, the prices are usually jacked up to, well, that's just f***ing ridiculous. So what if you took a bunch of retro consoles and Frankensteined them together into one? You get shitty stitch lines.
The Super Retro Trio Plus is such a cool idea for a console, which is why everyone's doing it. There are so many aftermarket consoles like this. The Super Retro Trio Plus is always seen as the greatest version of it. So I bought the console and a bunch of NES and SNES and Sega Genesis games to test it out.
First, let's look at the actual console itself. There's this little flap in the front that basically reveals everything you need to mess around with. There's the original controller ports for the controllers, and it's really cool that you can even use the original controllers on this at all. The controllers packed in get connected to the SNES slot, and speaking of which, they're packed in controllers. Now, this is pretty much the exact same as an SNES controller, but that's perfectly fine. The buttons are nice, and it fits perfectly in your hands. The console can be connected to a TV using either HDMI or AV output. I prefer using AV output because it's more authentic. Now, there's 3 different flaps on the front of the console. One that lets you change between the packed-in controls and the originals, one that lets you change the aspect ratio, and one that lets you change the region, which is super cool if you're in a pickle.
Wait, what if I really want to play Marble Madness when I'm in Japan? Oh, this is perfect! Thank you, Retrobit.
On the top of the console, we have the cartridge slots, a reset button, and a switch that makes the console pick which game to run. Now let's see how these games actually play. Going down the list of cartridge slots, let's start with the Sega Genesis. Now this controller doesn't work perfectly with Genesis games, but it does the job. Now the games themselves work perfectly here. The visuals and audio are spot on and there's no input delay. These genuinely could not work better. This is one of the only aftermarket consoles that play right off the hardware, and this really shows it. Next up, we have SNES games. Now, the controller packed in works way better here than on Genesis. I wonder why.
No, seriously, I don't know what's up with the controller I'm using.
The visuals look just as good as on original hardware, but the audio seems a little weird. The music is fine, but a lot of sound effects have a slight bass boost to it. It doesn't make the games unplayable, but it's something you need to get used to. And then we have the NES. Now, all of my NES games disappeared alongside the rest of my games, so I had to buy a second copy of Excitebike just for this. What the f*** is this? The NES games on this thing are awful! The visuals are disgusting, everything is so saturated! Why does anything with even the slightest bit of yellow become the most blinding yellow I've ever seen? The audio is just slightly pitched up, and it's just enough to really piss me off. Oh, don't even try to play any Mario game with this controller.
Sorry, I just really need to get that out.
This thing is a mixed bag. While there's so many options for any type of player, and Sega Genesis games play absolutely magnificently on here, the audio problems with the SNES games and the fact that NES games are fucking disgusting on this makes this feel sort of like an deal to me.
Now, if you really want to play retro games and you just hate the idea of getting the original consoles, this is nice, but keep an original NES on standby. So, I'm stuck with these 7 games for the foreseeable future. But, you know, maybe I could get my worth out of them by using this target practice. What do I talk about today? Oh, I could talk about Danish since Danish 4 just came out. Nah, but what'll I have to tease you guys with after that? Oh, I played Wii Sports that one time. I could play Wii Play today. But do you really want to watch me play Pose Me? I just have nothing to talk about! Wait, what's this? Ha, well, how convenient! Seems like I was invited to a party! I don't think I should go, though. Last time I went to a party, it didn't go well. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind! It's being held by my good friend, Hyde Ray. Let's go over now! Hey everybody.
Nah, you're the only one I invited.
Well, that's sad. So, what do you want to do?
Let's go over to the couch.
Nice couch. Feels kind of deja vu-ish though.
What do you mean?
It feels like somewhere in an alternate universe I played a shitty NES game here.
No, you played Star Tropics.
Is that 21 Pilots?
That's Tyler Joseph to you.
Well, it needs something to
You
do.
can watch a movie.
Or 20.
Or what?
I have a problem.
Video games are cool, but what if I broke both of my thumbs? Well, then you can sit down and watch a movie. Because, like, yeah, everyone's played a video game, but everyone's watched a movie. So what if you took these two mediums and squished them together? Video game movies. Some are bad, and some are worse.
Let's go through about 20 different video game movies throughout time, starting with the Mario movie. No, not that Mario movie. That Mario movie. This ain't no game?
It's not a game. Are you stupid? It's
Yeah,
literally
no
a movie. Hey, I know that.
No, I'm sure this movie can't be that bad. Oh, never mind.
He's been shot.
Alright, let's get this movie over with so we can talk about the good one.
Huh, not on Netflix. Probably on Prime Video. No, Disney Plus? No, Hulu? Peacock? TV?
Hello.
So basically the plot of this movie is Mario and Luigi get transported to an alternate world run by homunculi. This movie's bad, moving on. Now we can get to the actual good Mario movie. This follows around the same plot as the original Mario movie where Mario and Luigi get transported into an alternate world, but this time it's actually pretty good. This movie is very basic all things considered, but it's the good kind of basic, like a ham sandwich. It's not very special, but man is it good. Next up is the 3 Sonic movies.
Oh hell yeah! I love Sonic. I have so many memories from his games in my childhood, like Sonic Eraser, Sonic Schoolhouse, Sonic X Leapster, Sonic Pocket Adventure, and Sonic Ed.
What kind of up childhood did you have?
The first movie released in 2020, and I don't think the producers understood what Sonic was. This is more buddy road trip movie than anything else. It's a solid watch through all around, but if you're looking for a Sonic movie, this isn't really what you're gonna get. Now, the second Sonic movie is a lot more Sonic-y than the last one, with Tails and Knuckles being introduced, and Sonic turning into Super Sonic at the end. And it's also just a better movie overall, except for the fact that Preston Plays is in it for some reason.
Isn't that the guy who faked 100 Minecraft World Records? That's for the Minecraft YouTuber Jared to break them all authentically just to spite him. And he also survived 100 days.
And then we have the third Sonic movie, and man, this is a good one. It's highly based off of Sonic Adventure 2, even down to Eggman pissing on the moon. There's a lot of fan service in here, but it works really well in the story. When Live and Learn started playing, me and my friend went ballistic. But there's one part I could live without.
Konnichiwa?
Well, that was great. Now it's time to go to a pile of f***ing god-awful that this movie f***ing sucks.
A Minecraft movie.
I own a sealed copy of this movie.
I don't care!
This movie was incredibly popular back when it released due to, certain trends. When me and my friend watched the movie back in April, we thought it was the funny type of bad, and then when we watched it now, it's just bad. The CGI was good, but it was super uncanny. The jokes are incredibly unfunny, and there's so many plot holes I feel like I'm watching cheese.
This is actually more interesting than I thought.
But I kind of respect this movie in a way. It's not trying to be serious, and you shouldn't treat it like it is. This is the type of movie that just wants to be dumb. It's not deep, there's no big story, and the humor is extremely corny. But that's okay.
Well, this movie isn't good in the slightest. I can respect it for what it is. It's not trying to be serious or have a good plot, and that's okay. You can just enjoy it as a dumb movie. But it has the boots of swiftness for Minecraft Dungeons, so forget everything positive I said about it.
Next up, we have Tetris.
Do you want with blocks?
Yep,
How do you make a movie out of falling blocks into a hole?
you don't.
This movie isn't actually about the game Tetris. It's more so an action-themed retelling on how Tetris came to be, starting off as a simple game made by Alexei, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that, to a worldwide phenomenon when it was released on the Game Boy. So, since it's pretty much just a documentary, you'd think it'd be pretty boring.
It's a movie about blocks falling!
This movie's actually really good. It retells the story of Tetris pretty well while still being entertaining. Overall, this is a very solid movie.
Next, we have Uncharted. In this movie, Nathan Drake is recruited by some treasure hunters to find this long-lost treasure that's somehow connected to his brother. Now, Tom Holland does not fit the role of Nathan Drake at all, and this movie's just kind of boring. Now I have a question for you. How the hell do you turn Gran Turismo into a movie?
How the hell do they turn this into a movie? It's just racing! It's like turning Mario Tennis into a movie. That wouldn't make any sense!
They make it so that Gran Turismo, the game, is an important part of the movie, and the person who races actually played Gran Turismo beforehand, which is a cool premise, I guess, but I don't care. Well, that was interesting. Now it's time to go to, wait, what the f***?
Now I had no idea that there was an Assassin's Creed movie until doing research for this video, so I'm going in completely blind.
So the story follows a man traveling back in time. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore, so I won't. Tomb Raider was super popular during 2 separate console generations, and we ended up getting a movie during both eras. Now, the original Tomb Raider movie is a very basic and cheesy action movie from the early 2000s. And, you know, it's not that bad. So let's see what the other one is like. It's the same thing! Next up is the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. This movie's just okay in my opinion. I hadn't played any of the games beforehand, so I couldn't really get a kick out of any of the references, but I can tell that this is super well made, and I can understand why so many fans liked it. Now, I haven't watched the second movie yet, and I don't plan on it because everything I've heard about this movie is extremely negative. Now, there's been like 20 different Pokemon movies throughout time, but let's just keep it simple and talk about the most popular one, Detective Pikachu. This is a very basic detective movie with a Pokemon spice. Now, that's not bad at all. This is a pretty decent movie, all things considered, and it's got some really good jokes. Overall, it's definitely a lot better than what I would think when I hear live-action Pokemon movie. There's been 7 different Resident Evil movies, but I decided to just watch the first one for this video just in case it was bad. This movie's bad. The plot is,
Huh, it's weird. I can't remember anything that happened.
We just watched it!
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
I don't remember a single damn thing about this movie and I refuse to rewatch it. Moving on! There were 2 separate Angry Birds movies while the series was extremely popular. And a third one coming out next year. Jeez, these games are about birds defacing private property.
I absolutely loved these movies as a kid. I can't wait for 9-year-old me to be humbled when these movies end up being trash. What do you mean it's not that bad?
Yeah, the first Angry Birds movie isn't terrible. The plot is basically Red and his gang try to discover the evil intent of the pigs when they just randomly show up and start doing shit. Now, this is probably the best way to turn bird, kill pig, get eggs into a movie. And there's even a decent amount of good jokes. I hate to admit it, but this movie got a chuckle out of me a few times. Now, the second movie, on the other hand, is about as good as a real bird shitting on your car. If this movie was a person, they wouldn't wear deodorant. It's disgusting. The movie just randomly adds in this eagle character, and she threatens to, I don't know, kill everyone. I really don't care. I don't think I've ever given a shit about something less until right now.
Next up we got, oh shit, they got the Clankin'?
What do you mean the clank?
Ratchet and Clank. Time for my annual Remembering This Movie Exists moment.
Yeah.
I didn't end up watching this movie since there's no way to watch it on any streaming service without spending money. I already spent $8 on Mario, I'm not spending another $5.
I've already spoiled you guys enough already.
You talked about that movie for 15 seconds.
I do vaguely remember watching this movie with a friend who liked the series like 7 or 8 years ago. And I don't even think I liked it, and my standards were pathetically low as a kid. And finally, we have Pixels. It's not really a video game movie, more so a movie with video games as a focus. But when else will I be able to talk about this movie? This movie follows a ragtag group of retired gamers as they try to save the world from video game characters that have infected the real world. This movie's not funny in the slightest, even though it's supposed to be a comedy. Adam Sandler's dumb in this. The plot is extremely hard to follow, and then there's the stupid iconic line,
Pac-Man's a bad guy?
That's it! There's like 5 good movies in this whole lot. I wasted my entire day watching them. This was the worst Christmas ever!
Well, then why'd you watch all these?
I did it for them. For the fans.
Who cares about the viewers?
Well, that's
harsh, especially in front of them.
Okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. You don't need to torture yourself for around 30 people. You need to learn to do something for yourself for once. People do YouTube as a hobby, so treat it as one. Do what you want, even if it's not related to games. If you live with yourself, you won't have any fun. So I'm trying to say is, do something for you for once.
Did those movies do something to you, man?
Still, I'm a dumbass, doesn't mean I can't be inspired or anything. Well, look on the bright side. I got you some gifts.
No way, my Sims? Thanks!
There's more.
My old hat?
Yeah, I knew how much you loved your old one, so I bought you a new one.
I threw this out. Did you go digging through my trash?
Oh, yeah, one more thing.
Oh, thanks?
No problem. Anything for me? No way, thanks!
Yeah, I knew you were
Mmm.
Sigh, you are one strange human.
You know, maybe Jaime was right. I need to start making more unique content, change things up a bit. I won't be going anywhere, don't worry. I just want to change things up. I'm still working on the Minecraft Dungeons DLC to get my games back, but in the meantime, I'm gonna play some My Sims. Wait, what? I don't know, man. I guess we're over here now. Now I have no idea why I'm at my original spot now, but that doesn't matter. I need to beat Minecraft Dungeons. Now you're probably thinking, Nintendo guy, you already beat Minecraft Dungeons. Well, I only beat the main game. There is 6 different DLC packs I need to go through today. And since the magical force that stole all my games for the 2nd time now, gave them back the first time when I beat the main game, I think I might need to beat the DLC to get these ones back. Now, thankfully, Terry the Turtle has made his grand return to help us out. How you feeling, Terry?
Why must I exist?
Man, such a jokester, huh?
For this video, I'll play every level at default 2 or whatever's the lowest difficulty available for convenience sake. I also won't play any of the secret levels or daily trials because that's just a waste of damn time. So let's just jump right into the Jungle Awakens pack with the first level, Dingy Jungle. This is tolerable, I guess. The visuals are nice and the new enemies have some pretty cool designs, but the slime and witch enemies are used way too much in this and it's super annoying. And then we have Treetop Tangle. This one is actually not that terrible. Having you climb a giant tree is actually a pretty cool concept and there's not too many enemies. This is probably better than any level in the main game. Then we have the Overgrown Temple. There were a lot of sections where you could skip the enemies and I'm completely fine with that because there's these incredibly annoying skeletons with these spears. Over 4 years before spears were added to the main game, it's nearly impossible to land a hit on them without using a bow, so if you're out of arrows, good f***ing luck. Well, that wasn't horrible, so now it's time to move on to the next DLC pack, Creeping Winter, which only has 2 levels, with the first one being Frosted Fjord. Well, it doesn't matter because this level is extremely boring. There's barely any enemies, and the enemies that are here don't have any cool designs or anything. And the environment is so boring, it's just winter. I know, so interesting. And then there's the Lone Fortress, and this one's just annoying. In this one there's too many enemies, and there's so many split paths. And the boss fight was okay though, which, by this game's standards, that's a damn miracle. Jesus, this pack f***ing reeked.
Wait, what? Okay, well, I guess I'm in my closet now. Man, I haven't been in here since the hide-and-seek competition. Man, I really let this place go to shit, haven't I? Whatever, doesn't matter. I need to keep working on this.
Starting off the Halloween Peaks pack, we had the Windswept Peaks. And this is incredibly boring. There's almost no enemies, no cool set pieces, and the easiest puzzle of all time at the end. A damn banana could probably beat this.
Come on!
Next is the Gauntlet of Gales, and this one also sucks. The enemies might as well not be there, the level is extremely repetitive, and the ending is so dumb and annoying it makes me want to take whatever's closest to me and just And then there's the Gale Sanctum, and the level itself is okay, there's not too many enemies, and the design is somewhat interesting, but the boss fight is so annoying, it takes like 10 minutes. It's just the same thing over and over. Well, we've reached the halfway point, and it's not good. There's been some cool ideas and gimmicks here, but it's mostly just more of the same. How do you feel about this, Wii U lad?
This game sucks. It's not on the Wii U.
Yeah, valid argument. It's now time to enter Hell with the Flames of the Nether pack. Wait, I haven't been in Hell for the past 3.5 minutes? Alright, let's just jump into the Nether Wastes and... oh, there's... no... Oh, wait a minute, nah... Man, I have nothing to say about this. And I mean nothing! Let's just move on to the Basalt Deltas. And this one isn't really that important either. It's pretty short, so that's a plus. But there are these wither skeletons with bows. That's like my worst nightmare. And then there's the Warped Forest, which the only way I can describe this is... ugh! This level is so long and tedious, and there's so many points where I was cornered by more enemies than I have subscribers. Oh, while I'm at this, make sure to commit assault and battery on that subscribe button. Oh god, now where am I? Oh wait, I remember this carpet now. You probably don't though. Alright, doesn't matter. I only have 2 more DLC packs to go through. Let's get this over with. Going into the Hidden Depths pack, we have Coral Rise. And this is probably the best level in the entire game. You'd think the oxygen gimmick would be pretty annoying after a little bit, but they give you just enough time to make it a fun challenge while not making it unfair. And the new enemies have really cool designs too. I actually feel happy playing this. And the other level here, Abyssal Monument, is pretty decent too. It's pretty much the same thing as Coral Rise, but halfway through you get this cool conduit that lets you breathe but not lets you use arrows, which is a really cool thing. Do you sacrifice drowning possibly for the chance to use the arrows, or do you play it safe? And then there's a really bad boss fight at the end. We were so close! Alright, it's finally time to close this off with the Echoing Void pack. Let's just... wait, why is it locked? Collect Eyes of Ender? How do I do that? Oh, there's Eye of Ender icons on some base game levels. Okay, so to unlock the Echoing Void levels that you paid $8 for, you need to go back and replay 6 old levels and find Ender Eyes in 5-minute long detours. One of these levels being High Block Halls! And if you want to know the worst part, even if you buy the DLC pack with the game, these detours don't show up on your first playthrough. So you have to beat half of the game a second time just to unlock the level that you just paid $8 for! Alright, let's just get this over with. Now before we play the actual levels, we need to go to the Stronghold and put the Eyes of Ender in. This level's like 3 minutes long, I don't even know why I'm talking about this. Alright, now we can finally go to the DLC pack with the End Wilds. This one's actually kind of decent. It's not too hard. It has probably some of the coolest enemy designs in the whole game, and the Elytra flying gimmick at the end is really cool. Then there's the final level, Broken Citadel. I'm too upset to groan. This level sucks ass. Playing this is worse than leaving work, realizing you forgot something there, and going back only to find out the building got set on fire. There's multiple maze-like areas and they're annoyingly confusing. You're constantly getting jumped by a million enemies. But the ending boss fight is genuinely great. It has some really cool attacks, and it's hard enough where you actually have to pay attention, but it's not too hard. But who cares? I'm f***ing done! Wait, what's going on? Oh god, what's happening? Oh god, why'd this have to be during winter?
It's over now. Everything's back to normal. Well, I'm happy everything's back with games, consoles, all that. That's not the only reason I did this. I did this for me as an accomplishment. I did this for you. I did this so I could say, hey everybody, I finished Minecraft Dungeons. It's really over now. I never have to play this ever again. You know, in hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea. Hey everybody, no, this isn't some secret 31st episode. I'm just here to congratulate you for making it all the way to the end. Must have been a struggle. And I just wanted to say that I have some big plans for season 2. The first episode will be coming out somewhere in the middle of March, so get prepared.